We'll start by creating an area plan and then establishing a schedule. We'll draw a small building based on these 4 walls. And then in the Home tab under Room and Area panel, we'll go to Area and pick Area Plan. Here we're going to change this type to gross building instead of rentable. And then we're going to highlight level 1 and pick OK. We'll be asked, do we want to automatically have created these boundary lines that associate the external walls with the gross building area? We want to pick yes. You'll notice a new plan in the project browser, and the blue lines that are on the outside of the walls, and the big X and the area that's actually established right inside the drawing there, showing you the square footage. Now let's go to level 2, and in the level 2 plan we'll need to create a floor. It's based on the floor area, so we'll go to, in the Home tab, Floor, and then we'll highlight one of the walls and press the tab and then click and finish the floor. Now we can go back to the area plan and pick, for this one, level 2 and rentable, and pick OK. And then, do you want to automatically create the boundary lines? Pick yes. And now you'll see that in the level 2 area plan, the blue bold lines are on the inside face for the rentable area as opposed to the gross area. The level 2 plan, we'll go back to the floor plan level 2 and draw a few more walls here and establish our doors. If we go back to the area plan, you'll see that the 2 floor plans they're the same. Right now there's no boundary between the 2 rooms, so when we place an area, it's going to be for the entire floor space. So we'll need to create a boundary that will separate this area, the 2 areas. We can go up to area and down to area boundary line and select the 2 walls. The boundary will be created between the 2 rooms, and then go up to area and establish a second area for the other room, separating the 2. Well, I'm going to go ahead and move here down to the bottom the title and the area marker so that I can draw another wall that's to the left of the one that I just drew. And notice I'm drawing it right in the area plan. It will automatically be placed on level 2. And so we're establishing boundaries. In the area drop down, you'll see the area plan, which we used, an area, which helps us to establish the title and the square footage, and then the area boundary line, which here I'm just drawing a boundary line, and see how it cuts back that portion so that you can establish another area in that 3rd space. So eventually, as you're adding walls and creating your spaces, you can take a look at how many square feet are in each one of those. We'll go back to the level 2 plan, and you'll see that the new walls are there. We'll go ahead and add a door. And there is some discussion on Revit City and other website blogs about the difference between an area plan and a floor plan, because here in the floor plan level 2, you can establish a room tag . I'm ready now to create a schedule, so I'll go to the View tab and pick Schedule. We said that there were quite a few schedules here that you can work with, and There are some that are not typical, so they're not within the schedule list. If you pick on schedule and quantities, you'll have quite a selection of different schedules to choose from. And if you put a check mark and show categories from all disciplines, you'll have even more categories to choose from. We're going to uncheck that, and on the left side we'll select rooms as the category. Then we're going to change the name to room area schedule, and then pick OK. In this dialog box we can add fields. So we'll highlight name and add that, and then number and add it, and area and add it, maybe perimeter and add that. And I've always added a comment column so that we could add specific notes for that row. And we'll go ahead and pick OK. We have now our schedule that shows all the information, the area, the perimeter based on the rooms themselves. We're going to close out of the drawings that we're not working with and have the level 2 plan next to the schedule by using tile in the view tab. We'll be able to have them side by side. If you select the wall and change here the temporary dimension to, let's say, 20 feet, you'll be able to see the schedule update automatically, so they are linked and you can see the changes. So we'll create a new sheet, highlight here sheet, and then right click and pick new. And we're going to load a smaller sheet size. We'll pick load and go to title blocks. And then we'll go ahead and pick the 22 by 34 sheet and then pick OK. We can maximize this sheet and drag and drop the plan and the schedule onto our sheet, the level 2 plan. We're not using the area plans. I wanted you to create one and know that there is one there. We're going to rename the level 2 view to second floor plan, and it asks if you want other corresponding views that have that name to change, and I said yes, so that the area plan could also be called the second floor plan. And then drag and drop it onto your sheet along with the schedule. We can drag and drop the schedule from the project browser onto our sheet. We'll make minor modifications to make it fit on the sheet a little bit better by here selecting the view in the sheet, right clicking and picking activate view, and then selecting those elevation markers and hiding them in the category, and then readjusting the title of the plan and dragging and dropping it closer to the floor plan. So now I'm going to just select everything and kind of move it over. I've got a schedule with the area and a plan with the title. We'll save this file and make sure you save it. Now let's create a construction cost estimate. We'll go back to schedules and create a room schedule, but this time we'll call it cost estimating per square feet. And then pick OK. We'll establish our fields as name, number, area, and then we're going to add a parameter called cost. So pick the add parameter button, and then in where it says name, type in cost. The type of parameter is going to be a number associated with the cost per square feet. And now we'll be able to calculate a value for the next field. In this calculated value, we'll name it, that last column, cost per square feet, and then we'll change the type to area And the formula is area times cost, or area asterisk cost, and it has to be spelled out exactly the way it is in the fields. So if you capitalized cost, then with the C, then it has to be capital. So now in the sorting and grouping tab, we can put a check mark in grand totals so we can get the total of it. In the formatting tab, we're going to highlight cost per square feet, change the alignment to right. Let's put a check mark under calculate totals, and then pick field format, because by default it's going to put a square feet in there. We're going to go ahead and uncheck the use project settings and then change the unit symbol to none. We'll go ahead and leave the appearance as the default and pick OK. And our new schedule is created. Now we can take the cost per square feet. In the means cost estimating data, there's a national standard that you can pick out, and this is just an example of residential for so many square feet. If you have veneer with wood frame, it's so much a square foot for 2,400 square foot home. And so I just wanted to show you that there are several cost estimating books. You can establish per square feet based on the class of and the type of building using a number 110.45, but everyone's numbers will be different, and they're based on national standards, and our rooms are bigger than they should be, so we'll just go ahead and put in for the cost 110.45, and you'll see that the calculated area times cost will give you the cost per square feet and the grand totals in our schedule. We can go back to our sheet and drag and drop our new schedule from the project browser onto our sheet. You can now use a guide grid in the View tab, give it a name, and customize the boundaries and the guide spacing for that grid. You'll see in the Properties palette the guide spacing is 1 inch. Change that to 2 inches and see the spacing update. Levels, grids, reference planes, model crop regions, and schedule extents can snap to these grids. And once you've created a grid and you go to a different sheet in the Properties palette, you can apply that grid here at the bottom right corner to another sheet using the name that you established on the first sheet, making it easy to create one guide grid and apply it to other sheets.